My name's Race Cat, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Trading Paint. And with this video and my YouTube channel, what my goal is just to show you how to have fun with painting and drawing and just really enjoy art in the most simplest form. It's a lot of fun just to do things, and you don't have to be very expensive or not. And in this particular piece, I did this all with markers, and basically it was just a piece of paper that I had underneath another piece of paper, and the bleed through of the markers left some interesting images on the paper. So I just went ahead and drew a face on there and had other writing already, notes already on there. And this is um, like what Deb Weir's type of art would be, which is a very fantastic artist. And I do a variety of things. And so in this particular piece, I've also experimenting on giant $100 bills, which are approximately 6 by 18 inches long. And in this one, as you can see, it's kind of a tropical theme with a flower kind of in the Drew Brophy style. And what I do is I strictly paint in acrylics and use a black Sharpie for my outlining. And you can see the influence by his waves in the action of the ocean and sun rays in this particular one. And in the next one coming up, I'm just in the process of starting this one, and what it's going to be is probably in the more lines of maybe Smo Nova or maybe 1000, where it's going to be more of a graffiti type of design. I'm just still working out the details, but there will be a finished video on this, so I hope you'll stay tuned or subscribe to my channel and watch this and look forward to it. And this is another one that's just another painting that I like. And here are some characters that I've done experimenting with colored pencils and different layering effects. Uh, Putting down some layers of yellow and then green, and then maybe some more yellow and green. And you can see the detail that I put into the mouth. And these are also done with, well, I shouldn't say done, but they were experiments. And then I did this one as well, is a colored pencil of a cat on black, or I should say gray construction paper, and I just did some lot of layering. And then again, this is another one, something similar to Deb Weir's, which she has a lot of fun with the way she does her art and the crazy faces that she makes, and it's just a lot of fun to do. This one was just done on a plain piece of notebook paper with some markers, and then I put some eyes and maybe a little acrylic paint added. And then I also like the tropical themes, and this one was entitled Cheeseburgers in Paradise. As you can see, I had a lot of fun putting a lot of color in this, and I don't use a whole lot of very expensive tools. Most of my tools are just very inexpensive, and what I have laying around my art studio: acrylic paints, some cheap markers, as you can see, a Uniball pen, Sharpies, some alcohol markers. Then also I have a pile of colored pencils, which are a variety of watercolor pencils. And then I just use everything in combination and probably break all the rules that there probably are, but that's all part of making art. And then this is from an inspiration of a trip that I'd taken to Hawaii, and you can see the spin of Crayola on this one. He's a fantastic artist. Also have one of his books, and I really enjoyed doing that underwater scene, and then also the fish jumping out of the waves and adding the color. And along with the fish, these are going to be some fishing lures that I'm going to actually hand paint with a brush. Most people do it with an airbrush, but I'm going to do it with the brush. And this is just one of the characters from one of the movies. I like to go to a lot of the children's movies and watch those and get ideas. And these are some characters that I just imagine out of my head. And probably this one would end up to be on a graffiti wall, although they don't do graffiti walls, but I do like it. And this is an image I stole from 1000, and I also bought his book, so I don't feel so bad stealing his images, but I don't sell it. I just use it for reference. And these again are all markers from characters that I've come up with and just different experimentations of laying down colors and see what looks nice with each other. And this one here might be another one from 10100. You might be able to see a little bit of an influence from there of space. And again, I like the skeleton effects and monsters and that type of thing and comic books. And I like doing this one because of the brightness of the colors, and I liked how I finished off the background with this one. And again, a lot of some of these simpler designs are just done on very cheap materials. What I've done here is painted these on the inside of cereal boxes, which were just turned inside out and trimmed down and just painted right over them with acrylic paints. And they're fun to way to just to practice. And here are more images again with I just was working a lot with trying to refine some overlays and layering with a colored pencil on green over yellow. And again, this is the other one from Cheeseburgers in Paradise. I really enjoy the tropical. And this is probably influenced by Big Toe. He's another great artist in a book. His book that I have, I like doing tikis, and this one was inspired again by that. And then I also work in watercolors, and these are great for kids. What if you see the color splashes in the background? Those are all just drops of paint dropped down and then pushed around with a straw, and kids just love doing that. And watercolors are really easy to work with as far as just doing basic watercolor. Just put some water down and let it run. And like I say again, on this one, you can see the background with the spots and the blowing of the paint around creates some visual effects. Again, I like this one for the texture in the background. I created it with a sponge, and I just like how it pushed everything forward. I liked I like skulls and I like tattoos, although I don't have any. But I did some experimenting with some drawing of skulls and adding a little bit of color to them. So that's where these come from. And then again, this is a David Lazo inspiration. He's a great artist, does some very neat and simple skeleton drawings, which he does acrylic backgrounds and does a lot more work involved than what it really looks like. And here's more in-depth drawing. I had a hand coming out of the dirt. And on these, I added a lot of extra detail by just using gauze and crumpled up paper and putting it down. And then on this one, I photographed a tree just so you could see the difference in bark and see how there's really art in everything. And then used my own imagination and saw the visual faces in the bark of the trees and laid it down on paper. And again, these are some refurbished paintings that I had done previous and were just laying around my studio. Like this would have been a wood duck just painted in the swamp, but I added a lot of different details to it, like a Greg Creola Simpkins effect. Same with this one. And then these are more of my regular type of paintings, my more serious type of paintings, where I add a lot more, put a lot more time into it, add a lot more detail to them. And I use acrylic on masonite for creating these. I do a lot of outdoors filming and photographing, and this is one of my favorites right here with the way the sun shines off of the lure. And this is looking directly out my studio most of the time in the winter when we get a lot of snow. I love how the snowflakes fall and the birds are sitting there waiting to get fed. This was an early fall snowstorm that we had. And again, comes spring, and I just love being outdoors filming and photographing. And this is a nice big buck that I had filmed one afternoon, and it was just a very enjoyable day to be outdoors. So I hope you like my work and keep following along, and please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more. Thank you.